Can we just talk about how sometimes it's hard to pray? We don't even feel like praying. Like we wake up in the morning and we just want to just take our phones, scroll through social media and not do anything. But that's why I'm doing this video for you and for me as well, to help us navigate those times that we find it difficult to pray. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a faith-based channel. We talk about everything God. We talk about how to improve our relationship with God. We talk about everything that concerns us as believers. Welcome again to my YouTube channel, and I know that this video is going to be very helpful for you, especially if you are struggling with your prayer life. I'm going to be giving you practical steps that you can take to take your prayer life to the next level. So stick with me and stay to the end of this video. The first thing is you need to unclutter. What I mean is address those things that are actually taking up your time or that is stopping you from praying. Sometimes we wake up with so much burden and we get so entangled and overwhelmed by our burdens that we even forget to pray. Address the things that are stopping you from praying. If it's like a sin or something that you have done wrong, you need to address it. If it's something that is making you too anxious, you need to address it from its root. If it's an activity or you're just too busy, you need to also address it and say, I need to find time to spend time with God. If it's an anxiety, if it's like a trouble, like a storm, it is to cast those burdens on the Lord. So I know of somebody that I used to follow, that one of the things she does when she wants to have this Bible study, she does it for women, is to first of all say, Lord, let's just unburden, let's cast all of our cares on the Lord before we start hearing from God. And I think it's very profound for us to do. When we wake up and we have a lot of things on our mind, one of the things that we can do is to just unclutter and just cast those burdens at the feet of Jesus before we start the day. And the second step you can take to help you pray is to get a prayer partner. I know this sounds somehow, I wake up in the morning, I don't feel like praying, and I'm start looking for who to call. Yes, you should have someone. I've talked about intentional friendship, so look for that video and watch. Maybe you can find it here. But I've talked about so much on how it is important for us to have friends who have the same spiritual should I say fervor or spiritual energy and hunger that we have. So you should have one person that you can say, I want you to be my prayer partner. So the times I don't feel like praying, we can pray together. I had one person do that one time. She just reached up to me, she just called me and said, I want us to be praying together. I have some things that I'm believing God for, and I know that you also have things that you're believing God for too. And we started praying together. So sometimes we'll be too tired. I remember the first time we tried, I think we wanted to do 1 hour, and she was the one leading, and we just did 10 minutes. I think we did 10 or 20 minutes. I said, we cannot finish. I told her, you know what, let's just keep praying. I told her we need to press in some more. We need to press in someone. I think we're able to do more than 30 minutes. And you need people like that you can call and say, you know what, I don't feel like praying, but I know that I need to pray. So can we pray together? And you guys will pray together. And I also believe in accountability. So get somebody that you can be accountable to. You can say every week, please check up on me. I will check up on you to know how many times you were able to pray. And maybe you guys can also be waking up and calling yourself and say, it's time for prayer. Pray now. So that will lead me to my next point, that you can have like a time set up on your phone that tells you pray now. I don't know if that will work, but I know that for me, I have this every hour declaration that I take. Like every hour, my phone beeps up. If it's not every hour, I think every hour or every 1 hour, 30 minutes, my phone beeps up and reminds me that that I need to say some declaration. So it just says say now, and the declaration is written out there. I don't know if that will work for you, but I think it's another step that you can take to pray. Maybe just have it on your phone. Maybe every 6 a.m. you have an alarm that wakes you up or that rings and says pray now. And I know that there's another part of being disciplined to actually do that. I must say for me, it's not every time. Maybe sometimes I'm busy. I don't get to take that declaration at that hour. But what it does that it just stays on my phone. So I can open my phone and see my notification that there is a declaration that I haven't said, and then I take it. So I think it can also help you pray if you have like a reminder on your phone to remind you when you need to pray. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please click on the subscribe button and also like this video and share it with somebody. And my next point would be prayer clips. You see, prayer is very contagious. Believe me when I say that prayer is very contagious. I remember when I was in school, I had this Pastor Chris 15 minutes prayer. I don't know that it's 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes praying in tongues straight. Was it 15 minutes or 1 hour? It's either 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 1 hour that I had on my phone. And the times when I didn't feel like praying, I just play it, like Pastor Chris just praying in tongues for that 15 minutes. And I had to revisit it again recently. Like I had to go on YouTube and look for tongues, Pastor Chris praying in tongues, that particular clip, and I'll just play it and I'll just see myself praying along. Prayer is very contagious. You might not feel like praying, you might just go to church and that day you're not just feeling it and you're just sitting down and prayer is ongoing. You just see yourself begin to pray. If you feel that you don't feel like praying that day, just look for a 15 minutes prayer in tongues. You can also pray. If you need me to give you more, I can give you more video clips. So there's the Pastor Chris 15 minutes praying in tongues. There's also Prayer Storm, where I think he did that with Dunsin Oyekon. He did that. I've forgotten the pastor's name, but it's called Prayer Storm on YouTube. He did that with Dunsin Oyekon, one of their recent videos where they just prayed for. I didn't even know that it was that long. It was one day, one of the times I was trying to play it, and I saw that this thing is 1 hour 45 minutes. So you can see that you can even pray for 2 hours at a stretch without even knowing. So I just play it up and it's playing. So when I look at the time, I'm seeing 1 hour 45 minutes. I'm like, hey, so this thing is 1 hour 45 minutes long. And I didn't know. You can be praying whatever you want to pray for while just listening to it. It will help you pray. So that is another one. Another one is praying worship music. So if you are actually struggling with praying, one of the things you can do is to play worship songs. Start with a worship song. You wake up and what you just feel like doing is just staying in bed and not doing anything. Don't go anywhere. Just play the music. You see yourself praying. And there are a lot of worship songs. There is Theophilus Sunday. There is Dunsin Oyekon. There are just a lot of worship songs. There's one I even came across. Is it Big Circle? It's a group called Big Circle. I think it's Big Circle on YouTube. I'm not sure, but I'll just drop it here in case I didn't say it properly. So there are a lot of worship songs you can pray that I just worship instrumentals. Most times what I do is that I use worship instrumental. It helps me to just stay connected and just stay connected to God, connect to God faster than hearing songs, because most times you're more interested in the lyrics of the song than really praying. So what I just do is just to play this worship instrumental and use it to pray, and some of them are 1 hour long, so you can just play 1 hour long worship instrumental and you see yourself praying for 1 hour. Before you know it, just the whole idea is for you to just start, all right. See, you need to be disciplined enough and intentional about your prayer life as a Christian. Trust me, you need to just be very intentional about your prayer life. So everything you need to do that, do it. Second to the last thing I want to say is listen to messages. That sometimes I wake up and, like I said, I don't even feel like praying. I just feel like being quiet. So what I do is to just play a message. If I'm not playing a message, I just open my devotional or read my Bible that day. And after reading my devotional, I see myself praying what I have read, or praying what I have read basically, or just listening to a message, starting your day with a message, and while you're listening to that message you are praying. So let something be playing around you that will redeem your prayer fire. Now you want something that will redeem your prayer fire, play messages. So find messages on areas that you need to improve in your work with God, and just play it, especially prayer messages that talks about prayer. It will help. Messages that talks about prayer will actually help. So play messages. And my final thing is go for retreats. Go for retreat or place where prayers are ongoing. Yeah. So look for prayer retreats in your environment where you are, and go for prayer retreats, or even go for conferences that you know that prayers will be made, and just it will help you. So go to places where prayers are being made, like in my church on our workshop day. We have like, I kind of followed it, and I realized that it's like, because we have like three pastors come up and pray 5 minutes. So 15 minutes out of the workshop time is just strictly for prayer before the main pastor comes up. So you want to attend those kind of meetings where it's word and prayer, where there's time for prayer and there's also time for word. It will help you pray. And one of the beauty about my church is that it just rekindles your prayer fire. And I remember when joining the church for the first time, anytime I just hear my pastor preach and pray, there was just this hunger for prayer. I'll come back home and I want to pray some more. So you need to go to those kind of meetings where you go, you pray, and you just want to pray some more. Like I said before, you listen to messages that would help you pray. So that is all for how to improve your prayer life when you are struggling to pray.